A Swiss court bans the Mexican food brand Bimbo because it's racist. Traffic lights are being replaced by floating stop signs in Oakland because of copper theft. And scientists have found microplastics in every human testicle, according to a new study. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast bringing you some weird news from around the world. Here we go. The Swiss court bans the Mexican food brand Bimbo because apparently the term is racist. You guys familiar with the Mexican food brand Bimbo? I see the Bimbo trucks in Southern California. Have for years. I remember the first time I saw the Bimbo truck. I actually saw it, no, it was in New York City where I saw the Bimbo truck making their delivery, their bread delivery. Delicious Mexican pan, pastries and bread. And when I saw it, I giggled because bimbo is a derogatory term in the U.S. meaning like a dumb blonde or just a dumb girl or something like that. Anyways, apparently it's a little worse in Switzerland. It's a racist term. I was unaware, but let's learn a little bit about this. Imagine, though, just the chances of a word having two different slurs in two different countries entirely. I mean, talk about the versatility of this word Bimbo. I'd imagine the company Bimbo had no idea this was going on. So the Mexican food company Bimbo cannot register its trademark Bimbo in Switzerland. The Federal Administrative Court confirmed the rejection due to the racist connotations of this term. They're saying here, quote, it's deeply derogatory and racist for dark-skinned people. So apparently that is a term, a racist term for dark-skinned people in Switzerland. I didn't even know there was dark-skinned people in Switzerland. Wow, you're learning something all the time on Weird AF News. Multiple layers of learning here, guys. In the complaint to the Federal Administration Court, Grupo Bimbo, a group of bimbos, claimed that bimbo should be understood according to its meaning in the Italian language. In Italian, it means toddler, they say. Yeah, this is a nightmare of a situation when you have, languages and derogatory terms that mean one thing in one language in one place, but something horrible in another place. I mean, how do you deal with that? Well, I guess that's why you'll see companies, they just change their name in different countries. It's probably not the end of the world. They can probably just register a different name. We are now known as Bimbaclat. We apologize for any pain that we cause, but you can now call us Bimbaclat, man. Yeah, that's right. We're known as Bimbaclat in Switzerland, man. Yes, eat the bread, Bimbaclat. All right, I'm going off the rails. So sorry, but I'm highly caffeinated. Thanks to you. Okay, so back to the story. The Bimbo lawyers said, no, it means toddler in Italian. And I'm sure it means something in Spanish as well. I wonder how they came up with this name. I might have to do a little search for that. Hold on. According to the official Bimbo website, Bimbo, not just a category on Pornhub. They have an official website here. Why is it called Bimbo? The main hypothesis is that the chosen name resulted from the combination of bingo, the popular gambling game. They call it a gambling game, bingo. I guess technically it's gambling. And so it's a combination of bingo and Bambi from the famous Disney film. That's a very strange way to come up with your name for your product, but okay. So now we have the judges in Switzerland. They've rejected the arguments from the Bimbo lawyers. The Bimbo lawyer. Just picture judge, listen, Bimbo only means a bad word, just a couple of places. So, in Italian, it means baby. So, totally, it's what's the big deal? How about if we just change it to, Bimbo? Just change the M to an N. Is that, totally cool? Anyways, Your Honor. So the judge rejected the arguments from the Bimbo lawyer. They note that the question is judged based on average understanding in that location. The intention with which the disputed word is used is not relevant. So you're not able to say, well, our intentions aren't to be racist. We're not trying to sell racist bread around here. We don't want people buying our bread. We don't intend for people to buy the bread and commit an act of racism in so doing, But the intention is ignored in the ruling of the judges in St. Gallen. St. Gallen. I guess that's a place, apparently. When I was a kid, I used to eat these things called ho-hos. And at the time, I didn't know what a ho was. I didn't know what a ho was. I certainly didn't think anything of eating ho-hos. We're surrounded by these things, and they don't have devious intentions. They just, one word means one thing in one place and one time, and over time and over different geographical locations, it means something else. And I mean, how do you cover all your bases? It's very, very difficult. I don't think there's a single word out there you can have that's not offensive to somebody somewhere, and everybody's so just sensitive these days. It's very, very difficult for brands and comedians, and we try to stay inoffensive as best we can, but it ain't easy, guys. Traffic lights in Oakland are being replaced by stop signs because people are stealing the copper. Oakland apparently is removing some traffic lights and replacing them with four-way stop signs because people are stealing the copper out of these electrical boxes that, in other words, the traffic lights. They're breaking into the traffic lights and stealing the copper. They're climbing up and doing this? Wow, tweakers are motivated, man. This is a site that has made some drivers do a double take. A stop sign hanging overhead where a traffic light would normally be. Wow, they're not even putting the stop sign on the ground. They're putting it where the light used to be, up in the air. I've never seen a floating stop sign before. That would make me do a double take as well. Why can't you put the stop sign in a normal place, like on the ground? They probably steal that. Wow, just stealing everything that isn't bolted down in the U.S. What a sad situation it is around here. Oh, man, you can't stop the crackheads from taking anything that isn't tied down these days. And apparently there's enough copper in there that it's worth it. Climbing up and taking them out of the box. I mean, it seems like a risky proposition to me. But there's some resaleable copper inside a traffic light. It's probably not a lot, though. Whenever you see people take out the copper of some electrical device, and then they're like, okay, I got all the copper. It's worth $2.20. You're like, all that work, bro? Never imagine taking an entire stop light apart for $5 worth of copper. Then again, I've never been addicted to crack, so what do I'm not qualified to speak on such things. Now, it says in one neighborhood they removed all the traffic lights in the last week at this one intersection, replaced them with four-way stop signs. The installation came after months of people stealing copper wires and tampering with the city electrical boxes that supply power to the traffic lights. We have here someone named Tam, who's the owner of an auto body and repair shop located at the corner of that intersection. Tam says, quote, "It's just telling us that the city is giving up on us." So Tam's pretty frustrated. I mean, Tam pays taxes. Tam would like some normal working lights. Tam doesn't want to deal with floating stop signs. Who would? Not easy to see at night either. It's easier to see the lights. Well, hopefully they at least keep it a four-way stop sign and not devolve into turning it into a rotary, also known as a roundabout. I hate those things. Those are the worst. Oh, that's some lazy design right there, a rotary. Man, I always struggle with the rotary. I go to the rotary. I know I'm supposed to have, the people in the rotary have the right of way. You're supposed to yield to them, but people often don't. I'm in there sometimes. I'm in the center ring. I have the right of way when I'm in the center, when I'm in the eye of the storm. But people just barge right in front of me. They don't listen to the yield sign on the periphery. They just get right in there. I don't think there's enough rotaries and roundabouts in our lives that people even know how to handle it, Certainly when I took a driver's test, we never went through a rotary or a roundabout. It was probably on the written test, but, they're very rare and tricky. That was a strange rant, but I think it was necessary. Now, we have some other residents that live around these floating stop signs. Now, they say the lights that were there before weren't working for months anyways. They were either blinking red or completely out. Well, this isn't surprising in Oakland. Oakland is devolving into a post-apocalyptic wasteland. It is, by the way, it's also the world capital of smash and grabs. So maybe just drive right through Oakland anyways. Don't stop. Just drive right through. We have someone named Mason Young, who is a neighbor of the intersection. I'm a neighbor of the intersection. I live right next to it, so I guess I'm a neighbor of the intersection. Mason says, "This is a brand new solution to a problem that's taken many forms here. Mason says the stop signs are better than the non-working traffic lights, which he blamed for a crash that sent a truck into Tam's repair shop last year. Oh, Tam didn't even mention the truck that went through his repair shop. That was the first thing I would have complained about, Tam. Tam has been operating his repair shop at this corner for over 25 years. He's a mainstay. He and neighbors blame the problem on repeated copper thefts. They also claim that nearby homeless people are stealing power from city electrical boxes located on the sidewalks. Well, yeah, they're charging their smartphones, man. See that all the time. They break into the stoplight fixtures. There's like a little window at the bottom, not a window, but it's like a little grate that you can pull off, and in there you can get into the electrical wires, and then you can somehow tamper with those and charge your phone, I believe. That's what I've seen. Now, Tam says he's got a solution. If you want to fix the stop signs, you really have to clean up the homeless encampment that's nearby. Apparently, there's an encampment that stretches about 3 blocks. The city has made attempts to clear it previously, but it continues to grow larger and larger, as they tend to do. They're everywhere now, these homeless encampments. Where I live, pretty bad too, in Los Angeles. So, I mean, this sort of like reiterates Tam's earlier quote when he said, I guess this means the city's just given up. You know, they're like, we're not going to do anything about the encampments. We'll just take away the traffic lights. And then what do you take away after that? I mean, eventually, you have people out there that will take anything. They will ruin anything. When they opened this bridge down here, the 6th Street Bridge in Los Angeles, they did like $1 million worth of damage just to get out a few $1,000s worth of copper, from what I heard, anyways. So, this is an issue that's huge, and I don't see any solution in the near future. It's just a nightmare. It's a total nightmare. This isn't a very uplifting story. I know. I'm so sorry. I thought it would be weird to cover, people turning traffic lights into floating stop signs because the copper's being stolen by crackheads. And, but at the end of the day, the problems that underlie all of this are really sad. I mean, really, really sad. And I'm okay, I usually can come up with some solutions. I got no solutions for this stuff. I'm living in it down here in Southern California. I look around and just shake my head. And the only solution I have that I see is for me to get the hell out of here eventually. Like maybe live in a lovely community that has, stoplights and whatnot. And, there's not just naked people, tweaking and twerking on the side of the road. This is kind of like your everyday LA living. All that being said, if you guys want to help Jonesy out here, please donate to my coffee fund so I can use some of those funds to buy large containers of Guinness that I can just suck down and then forget that I live in a giant homeless encampment down here. So buymeacoffee.com/funnyjones or go to weirdafnews.com and click on the Buy Jonesy a Coffee so I can buy beer with it. Yay! Scientists have found microplastics in every human testicle. It's the sound of science. Boop, 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 science. They're finding microplastic in every human testicle. They didn't check mine, but this is an alarming study. I would say that's nuts, right? And it took some balls to make this report, I'd say. A seminal moment in physiological studies. The puns up top, so good. This is alarming. Microplastics have been found in human testicles, with researchers saying the discovery might be linked to declining sperm counts in men. Yeah, that would make sense if, you're shooting plastic, which it sounds like this is what's going on. Basically, my nuggets are bubble wrap, I believe, is what scientists are telling me. This isn't good news at all. Scientists tested 23 human testicles. Wait a minute. I thought you said every human testicle. 23 human testicles, and they also tested 47 dog testicles. They found microplastic pollution in every single sample. Well, that's lovely to know that my testicles are plastic eggs with plastic bits inside. I'm walking around with Kinder eggs between my legs, basically, bro. That's wonderful. It says here, the human testicles have been preserved, and so their sperm count could not be measured. However, the sperm count in the dog's testicles could be assessed and was lower in samples with higher contamination of plastics. The study demonstrates a correlation, but further research is needed to prove that microplastics cause sperm counts to fall. So I guess in 10 years, guys, we won't even need condoms. So that's also, that's a positive takeaway, right? Sperm counts in men have been falling for decades, they say, with chemical pollutions such as pesticides implicated in many studies. Microplastics have also recently been discovered in human blood, placentas, breast milk, indicating widespread plastic contamination of people's bodies. The impact on health is yet unknown, but microplastics have been shown to cause damage to human cells in the laboratory. You want to have some real talk, guys? I experience anxiety from all of the microplastic news that's been coming out over the last few months. Did you guys read the water bottle study? Oh boy, the water bottle study. Don't look into that. That'll ruin your day. Basically, there's no escaping the plastic. I can only hope that, I don't know, you see those animals that are around Chernobyl? They kind of adapted to their environment. I mean, they're walking around totally radioactive on some level, but they've seemed to make it. So maybe we can pull through, guys. Maybe we can adapt to our future plastic bodies. At least a percentage of us are going to be plastic, I'd imagine. And maybe that's the future of mankind. Hey, if we're gonna need our bodies to be more durable for long space flights eventually. You see how long it's going to take to get to just Mars. Imagine trying to go further. This human tissue isn't going to last, hundreds of years. But maybe if we're 85% plastic, we're like a G.I. Joe figure, we can go further into space and explore. I'm just trying to find a silver lining around this plastic nutsack story. It's not easy, but if anyone can do it, maybe it's me. Now let's get to a quote from one of the professors of the study, Shangshong Xiu Yu. Shangshao Shu Yu says, quote, "At the beginning, I doubted whether microplastics could penetrate the human reproductive systems or dog reproductive systems. When I first received the results for the dogs, I was quite surprised. I was even more surprised when I received the results for the human testicles. Oh, boy." Now, it says here the testes that were analyzed were obtained from postmortems in 2016, with the men ranging in age from 16 to 88 when they passed away. Yu says, quote, "The impact on the younger generation might be more concerning for us all now that there is more plastic than ever in our environment." The human testicles had a plastic concentration of 330 micrograms per gram of tissue, mostly polyethylene, which is used in plastic bags, plastic bottles. And it is the most common microplastic found, followed by PVC plastic. And PVC can release a lot of chemicals that interfere with spermatogenesis. And it contains chemicals that cause endocrine disruption as well, according to this professor. So the good thing is if you get enough plastic gathering in your brain, you'll stop experiencing the anxiety about the microplastics in your body altogether. And maybe we can find another use for this. Maybe you could recycle my testicles into something wonderful, like a wiffle ball. That would be pretty cool. I'd like to see some children out there in the playground just batting around my wiffle balls. That's so stupid. Ending on a laugh is sometimes possible, but you got to go to strange places. Hello, my friends and loyal listeners of the Weird AF News podcast. Thanks for spending some time with me. You've made it all the way to the outro. Pat yourself on the back. Good job. I'm going to read some positive reviews that I got on Amazon, which really made me smile. That is more than one, by the way. More than one people have given me 5 stars. I'm so grateful. Curtis P. Wrote, "Awesome podcast, but why the beep? First of all, your pod is hilarious, Jonesy. Second of all, why is that beep so loud? The one you use to transition segments. How much is it worth to you to change it? Maybe even if you could just turn down the volume of that beep. It gets me every time. I can't stress enough. Every time. It's so loud. I can't be the only one who thinks of this. I would still be a big fan if you change nothing at all, but I may have a few dollars I can contribute if you do, Jonesy. What do you say? Your loyal listener, Curtis from Dubuque, Iowa." Well, thank you, Curtis. I was unaware of the beep. This is the first I've heard of it. I'll tell you what. In this episode, I won't include the beep. Are the other ones just as loud? I can't choose the volume of those. What do you call those? Those interstitials there. But the good news, Curtis, is the application that I use to make the podcast that offers these beeps and bongo sounds and all those in between segments is going away as of June 1st. So I'll have to find other transitions in between the segments. So I'll try to find some that are more that aren't as jarring. But I had no idea when I listen to the playback on Spotify. It doesn't really scare me, but all of the feedback is helpful. So this is the first I've heard of that. But maybe some of you are also experiencing that. The good news, like I said, is that app is going away anyway. So I don't think I'll be able to use those. I'll try to find some that aren't so scary. Thanks, Curtis. That was a great review. Amy Freuderman gave me 5 stars. She wrote 5 stars all day. I listen to Weird AF News every morning before I get on with reality. Jonesy is a riot 98% of the time. 98%? That's so sweet of you, Amy. She says, for sure, there's 2% of the time where he just, misses the mark. But his songs, terrible puns, and wordplay make up for those moments. Weird AF News definitely isn't for everyone, but it's one of my favorite ways to start the day. Weirdos, if you haven't listened yet, try out a Friday episode and watch out for alligators everywhere. Oh, Amy likes my song, Alligators Everywhere. Amy, if you email me, I'll send you the MP3. You can do what you will with it. A. Johnson gave me 5 stars and wrote, love this guy's take on news. Weird AF News is just what it says it is. Real news reported by a comedian inside a closet. Jonesy tells the news you won't hear in the regular media. And don't miss Florida Fridays, the trailer park of American news. That's a great description, A. Johnson. It is the trailer park of American news. I should call it that. That's really funny. Merrill Palmer gave me 5 stars. Wrote, perfectly weird. Jonesy makes me giggle with his commentary on news about the weird stuff happening around the world. It's a nice break from the traditional news. Give him a try. And if you don't like it, no need for a bad review. Just don't listen anymore. Good luck with your life, man. And a little 4-leaf clover. Very cute. Merrill Palmer. Merrill Palmer, I really like how reasonable you are. Give him a try. And if you don't like it, no need for a bad review. Just don't listen anymore. Yeah, that's what I want to say to them. But I usually go over the top with my insults, Megan Cusco. It could be Megan, but I believe it's Megan Cusco. I hope I said that right. Megan/Megan. 5 stars. The title is, I absolutely love listening to Weird AF News during my flash briefing. I absolutely love listening. The combination of weird stories, quirky songs help me start the day. One of my favorite songs is Alligators Everywhere. It gets stuck in my head quite often. The show never fails to bring a smile to my face, and Jonesy is very appreciative of his fans. Highly recommend checking it out for a unique and enjoyable listening experience. Wow, that was a really lovely, well-written review right there. Very, very simple, to the point. Appreciate that. And again, Megan, if you'd like Alligators Everywhere, just send me an email. I'll send you the MP3. You can keep it forever on your phone. It could be a ringtone, but do whatever you want with it. My email, guys, you probably know it, but I'll give it to you anyways. funnyjones@gmail.com. That's the end of the reviews, and I'm so grateful. I don't think I've ever gotten so many nice reviews within 48 hours. I mean, it's just like lovely Amazon reviews. I assume it's because I got a bad one and you guys were retaliating on my behalf. Which just makes me so proud of you, and I'm so grateful that I have this army of supporters who step it up when I ask for a little assistance. So that's just really, really cool. I so appreciate the review, guys. I know it takes a little more time to give the stars and write the review, so it really, the fact that you took the time to write that, I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much, and I hope you all heard this shout out. I really, really do. I'm not able to really reply to the emails to let you know, to the reviews to let you know that I'm giving you a shout out. I just hope that you listen and you can hear me give you as they used to call it, mad props. So thanks so much. If you guys want to leave a review, you can do it on Amazon or iTunes, also known as Apple Podcasts. I know they also accept reviews. And on Spotify, you can give me 5 stars, which takes just a second, and that's really, really helpful as well. You can write an individual comment on an individual episode if you'd like to I guess in a way kind of write a review, and I'll read some of those too. I get those. Anyway, super helpful, and I'm so appreciative. So I guess lastly, I'll say if you want to call the show, that's 646-450-2012. I left my email, and the social media is @FunnyJones on Instagram. Feel free to send me whatever articles you come across that you think are appropriate for the show. And if you want to support the show, the website's weirdafnews.com, where you can join the Patreon, or you can buy me a coffee/beer. And good luck with your life, man.